And then I'll start by introducing you, Kathy, and then you can take it away. So Kathy is, we're both located in Northern Virginia, and I met Kathy through local networking groups, and she is a, a director of Mary Kay, and she is also one of the leaders of our local network groups, and she talks about how she's built an amazing network of her warm market, and mainly through through belly to belly, like in person, and other tactics other than social media, right? And that's the only thing that you'll probably ever hear from Beachbody is, you know, get on Instagram and how to do stories and Facebook and right. So you know everything, or you know you're going to hear everything how to do things on social media. But Kathy, yes, she does use social media too, but she also has lots of other ways that I thought would be very valuable for our team to hear, of other ways that you can build your network. And she's earned 10 free cars. So, you know, it's definitely made her very successful. So with that, Kathy, you can take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I'm super excited and honored that Greg asked me to be here. And I'm glad to meet you guys. So let me, you know, this is going to be a very open, laid back kind of situation. I'm not coming with an agenda. And one of the things I've heard when I asked you all to introduce yourselves was you joined Beachbody because you saw personal results. Like it wasn't something that you read somewhere or saw somebody else, but you have personal experience with the benefits of Beachbody, which, by the way, I totally love Shakeology as well. I do the vegan chocolate. And so it's, you know, you started with it because you had an issue in your world. And then you were attracted to this addressed the issue and solved the issue, right? And then you decided to become a coach because you're now passionate about being able to offer that experience to somebody else. So what I'm hearing is it's not the product, right? So you know, and when I coach my women too, you know, we don't peddle lipsticks for a living, right? We offer people hope to be able to change their life. You guys do the same thing. It's just a different vehicle, right? I may drive a pink Cadillac, you guys drive something else, right? But we're offering the same thing. And so like I had said earlier, any kind of job, direct selling, multi-level marketing career is, it's 10% skill and it's 90% head work. Okay. So, we're going to talk about the head work a little bit today because, hello, I'm in the Grand Canyon. Hello.
You're good.
So, what questions, let's start off with this. What questions do you have on how to find new customers? Because I would imagine Beachbody is very similar, where you start with the product, which could be the workouts, which could be the actual physical things you're putting in your mouth, right? And then that leads to then building a team, right? You either build a team of customers or you build a team of coaches, right? And so what questions do you have about, well, where do you find people? We start with friends and family. We're excited. And they, of course, know that you know nothing about anything because yesterday you just signed up, right? So they kind of see through all of this. But, and we don't build our business with friends and family. They want to know two things. What's my family discount? And what do I get for free, right? If your family's anything like mine. And so you don't build a business on friends and family. You build it with people outside of that circle. So what questions do you have on how to get deep inside of that outside circle? Let's just start with some questions first. You either physically raise your hand, or I guess there's a gadget to raise your hand, whatever.
Or just take yourself off mute, shout out.
So I have a question.
Yeah, Brendan, go ahead.
So actually, I just noticed this like this week. I have a friend on the island who's also doing Beachbody, and she's a part of a different team. Now we have the same circle on social media, So the both of us are posting about Beachbody, you know, this and that. How do I don't want to say like out edge her, but like how do I put myself in the forefront where I can be reaching out to people and getting more clientele where we're both advertising the same thing?
Awesome. So I don't know if you've thought about this, but there's more people in the world outside of your common circle of friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you really want to be tapping into.
Yeah.
Because that whole common circle of friends is kind of stressful, right? And it can, if not done tactfully, it can give Beachbody a bad name. Now everybody loses out, right? Not only you two, but the people who could have benefited from what you're offering, they lose out as well. The other thing is, and this is just my opinion, and opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one and it serves a purpose. That she's going to attract different people than you will, and she's going to repel different people than you will, right? So just be you. That's the best way to beat your competition, is just be you. Because somebody who's trying, right? When we try, it's kind of like Yoda. There is no try, there is only do. Just do you. And when you do that, you will automatically beat out the competition because they're coming across trying, which is never authentic.
Gotcha.
And people know the difference. Now, I don't know about men, but I do know about women. We don't want to be sold to, but we love to buy. And when you understand that difference, you'll have a customer for life. When I'm just me. I'm in competition with I'm in competition with the women I train, right? Because they're all peddling lipsticks too, right? But the difference is I will attract a different type of person than my consultants will, because I'm a different person. And so you're looking for the natural attractions. Okay. Does that answer your question?
That's great. And I love the belly button quote.
Oh yeah, that's an original. That's not when I'm not in the professional world, that's not the anatomy that I use, but however, I will be prepared. All right, what other questions do you have? The more questions you have, the more everybody benefits.
I get this one all the time, Kathy. It's, well, everyone I know doesn't have any money, or I don't know anybody in my town that is interested, you know.
Wrong. So let's be clear, we are salespeople. Sales is the oldest profession, and ours is actually morally legit. Okay. So take confidence in that, and don't buy into the excuses. Okay. I understand COVID is a real thing. I get it. I've had personal experience with it with family members. I totally get it's a real thing. And people still have a cell phone. A cell phone is nowhere on Maslow's hierarchy of need. Nowhere is technology on a must-have in order to survive. Okay? If somebody can afford a cell phone, they can afford whatever it is you are offering. The difference is they're convinced they can't live without that cell phone. If they're telling you, I just don't have the money, it means you've not done your job, which is to enlighten them on how they cannot live without Beachbody in their life. Let's be clear. Obesity is the biggest killer in our country. The United States is one of the most richest countries in the world and is one of the most unhealthiest countries in the world. They can afford to buy a Twinkie, but they can't afford, what is a shake? A $1.26 or something, if that, right? To actually make a shake, and all of those good nutrition is going into your body.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Like $3 for
still.
Yeah.
Starbucks is still in business. Starbucks sells nothing healthy. Well, bottled water, but even that's not healthy if you're looking at the water.
Kathy, they can sign up for Beachbody on Demand free for 14 days, and then it's only $39 a quarter. So yeah, I mean,
it's cheaper than a gym.
Yeah.
That, by the way, you must wear a mask at when you go to now. So hello, like, why would anybody not want to do this? Right? Why would they not? Especially when you have specific experiences of, I lost 30 pounds. I lost 40 pounds. I mean, come on, guys. Right? So it's when somebody says, I don't have the money, or it's an excuse that they've convinced themselves is legitimate, which, by the way, is not legitimate, because they're overweight, right? You're not targeting somebody who's perfectly healthy. I would imagine. Am I right? Am I wrong? Please correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Right.
And right, because your target market is people who want to improve their health. You have a solution. Not only a solution, here's a newsflash, your solution works. It works. And the cool thing I love about Beachbody, it's not a cookie cutter system. You have multiple things to offer them that fits their, like Connie had said, when she found out about the 21-day fix, OMG, she was like, I'm on that. It fits her lifestyle. And she's had results from it. Now, I had to believe, and here's the deal. If you meet somebody, I tell my consultants this all the time, because they're, new consultants, they don't really have a lot of stories to tell about their own personal experience yet. Okay. And so I have a consultant, I almost fell over laughing when I heard this. So I have a consultant who takes my picture with her, because she was in her 20s when she was doing this. And so she's going to women talking about anti-aging. And she was like, Mom, she's my daughter also. She goes, Mom, there's no, like, I can't, there's like, what do I have to share with them? She said, so I take your picture with me. Now I'm 61 years old. I don't look 61. I don't act 61 either, but I don't look 61 because our products they work. So she takes my picture with her. So my point is, if you are new into this business and you don't have a story that relates to who you're talking to, borrow somebody else's. This is why these calls are so important to your success. Those consultants or coaches who show up are the ones who are going to go up. Even if you don't think you need these calls, or if you hold meetings or whatever function Beachbody or your coach is holding, that needs to be a priority if you are serious about being successful at building this business, because there's going to be some little nugget that you get. And it might just be a belly button nugget, right? But it's some little nugget that you're going to get that's going to bust open your success, and you're going to fly until you come to the next gate. And somewhere along the line, at some meeting or some event that you go to, it's going to be the key that's going to unlock that gate to allow you to go farther. Okay. So if you don't have a story that matches who you're talking with, who do you know that you can borrow their story? Hey, I know Greg, and he was a tech guy, and he got onto Beachbody, and he lost, 40 pounds, and he blah, blah, blah. How many tech people do you know that are overweight? Oh my gosh, I don't have enough fingers, right? Seriously, right? What do tech people do all day? They sit on their butts and eat because they're bored, and they think they're hungry, but they're probably really thirsty, or they really need to work out, or whatever, right? How many of those? And so if we're talking about who do we talk to, have a scavenger hunt. When I first got into this business, I thought, seriously, you want me to go on a scavenger hunt? How stupid is that? But I now, after I've been in this 18 years, I understand the concept of it. Target somebody every week. So this next week, target to talk to 3 to 5 tech people every day. Every day. 3 to 5 tech people every day. Who do you know that is in the technology world? And then ask them, hey, my coach has given me a challenge this week. I'm pretty excited about the challenge. And they've asked me to talk to 5 people who are in the technology industry every day. And you know what? I ran out of my 5 in the first day. Who do you know that's in the technology industry? Would you mind giving me their name and number? I'm still in training. And honestly, I just need people to practice. It's kind of like riding a bike. I need a bicycle. So I tell people in my industry, I still do this after 18 years. My My national sales director has challenged me to be in front of 50 people every month. I just want to borrow their face. I promise to give it back to them in better condition. I just need to borrow their face. The rest of their body's welcome to come with them, but I just need to borrow their face. And they're like Tom's already smiling going, oh my God, this one's crazy. Absolutely. I am crazy about helping women. You guys are crazy about helping people get into better health. Can you imagine what you have personal experience as to how you taking control and responsibility for improving your health, how that has improved your life. Like I was listening to Brendan, right? His girlfriend started getting in shape. He's like, like that. No. That just makes me feel worse. The hotter she starts looking, the worse I feel. So we got to get that. That's not going to happen. Right. And so it doesn't make a difference what motivates you. Grab it. Right. Okay. What questions do you have?
I have one. So let's say you find a potential person, like you start engaging in conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you probe the question of not being intrusive as far as like, you introduce yourself to the person and you say, hey, my name's so-and-so, I'm an acquaintance of this person that introduced me to you, kind of thing. And then how do you make that jump from, hi, I'm an acquaintance, to this is what I do, and these are the types of products that I'm into, sort of thing? Do you tell your own story? How do you probe that?
I don't. The answer you're looking for, I build the relationship first.
Okay.
I build the relationship first.
Okay.
Because people will do business with people that they know and trust. And if you come to them with what you're peddling, you're sending them the message, you're not really important. My agenda is important. And that's why I said at the beginning of the call, I don't have an agenda. I know what Greg has asked me to talk about, and I will get that covered, but I'm here to serve you guys. Okay. And so I build the relationship first. And that's a great question, Christopher, because while I'm building that relationship, I'm profiling them. Is this going to be a good customer for me? Is this going to be a good team member? I'm always looking for team members. I hold parties to find my next team member. Now I will pamper them and I will help them improve their skin. And, by doing that, it improves their self-confidence and their self-esteem, which, by the way, you guys offer the same thing, and you can't put a price tag on that. Right? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Right. Okay.
And so I build the relationship first. And so sometimes it might take 2 or 3 conversations before I actually even let them know that I'm a sales director with Mary Kay. Matter of fact, I met a woman on a plane on the way back from leadership from California. And I was, so I live in Virginia, and I was flying from, I don't even know where we were, San Diego, or what doesn't make any difference. I was in California. I was going to Colorado Springs to hang out with a girlfriend who was also a sales director, and to talk to my spiritual advisor. And then I was going to spend 3 or 4 days there, and then I was going to fly there home. On the way from California to Denver airport, I sat next to this woman, and I typically do not talk to people on a plane. I got my earbuds. I'm in my own little world, right? Don't talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you. But this woman just started up a conversation. I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those plane rides. Okay, fine. And she talked most of the time. And I would ask questions, and then she would talk for another 5 minutes. And I'd ask another question, she'd talk for another 5 minutes. I found out a lot about her. I found out that she's a paralegal. I found out that she has grown children. I find out that she's got elderly parents that she's involved with taking care of. I found out that she's happily married. I found out where she lived. I found out that she's financially secure. I found out, and I thought, that's my avatar. That's who I'm looking for to build my team. And then about 2 hours into the flight, she said, so what do you do? And I said, oh, I own my own business. And then she started talking about her again. I didn't tell her I was in Mary Kay. I didn't tell her my position. I didn't tell her any of that. It was all about her. And do you know that that was a year and a half ago? And I am still in contact with her. And she's had a lot of issues with her parents. So, trauma drama has been happening in her world. So I'm not ready to accept her onto my team yet, because when she gets on my team, we're going to hit the ground running. She's not ready to do that yet. But I still am in contact with her. We are still building that relationship. And when she does get going with me, she'll become a director very quickly. And it will be worth the wait. In the meantime, I'm working with other people, right? So building that relationship is key. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it's just an instant thing.
Gotcha. Quick follow-up question to what you just said was, because one of the things that I kind of felt like sometimes when I try to find people onto my team, I feel like because the one thing that I heard from what you said was that the person continues to talk about themselves. Was
Right.
that, and so is that kind of like what you're gauging for? Like when you're building that relationship, is kind of like, if I can use the analogy of a tennis match, it's kind of like you serve it over to their side and then it's their turn to return it. And then when they don't return it, or they're kind of vague, it's kind of like, okay, maybe this person is not the person for my team, versus if they keep hitting it back and then you keep hitting it back kind of thing. Is that what you're kind of looking for in a relationship?
No, not really. I am looking for that they're hitting the ball back. But if they don't hit the ball back, I have grandchildren in my house. They were told not to come in, but a 5-year-old doesn't know what's okay. Hold on. Come say hi. And then sweetheart's working, so I need you to say, this is my 5-year-old grandson, Wes. He looks just like me. I love it. Can you say hi? Hi. Okay. So sweetheart's working. So can you give me another? Okay. And then I'll be down. It's all about you guys. All right. Awesome. We have the grandkids for the night to give their parents a break. Pray for me. There's 3 of them. Close the door. Thank you. I so apologize. They were given my husband. They are not to show up in my office. He goes, no problem. So anyhow, so yes, hitting the ball back is important. But here's the other thing I try to gather as I get information out of. OMG, no, you guys got to go. Thank you. So the other 2 are now trying to come in. Is there something happening in their world that they're not able to play ball with me? So I give them grace, and I'll just say, hey, I'm just going to pray about you, and just keep me posted. And that's where my handwritten note cards come in then. And about once a month, once every 3 weeks, hey girl, just thinking about you, hoping everything's going great. Can't wait to catch up with you. And then maybe 6 weeks out, I'll give her a call. Hey, you got a few minutes to talk, to connect? I just want to catch up with you and see how everything's going. You've been on my mind. Okay. Again, building that relationship. And the other thing is, sometimes you can tell, like it's a gut feeling, they are not interested, and they don't either have the backbone or know how to tell you that they are not interested. Okay. And so what I do sometimes is I just label the elephant in the room, and I'll say, hey, my job is just to make sure that you're pampered 4 times a year, and that your skin is what you want. But if you're not interested in either Mary Kay or working with me, girl, no sweat off my back. I definitely don't want to be that person that you run away when we see each other on the street. I want to be that person that you come up and go, hey girl, how's it going? Even if you're not interested in what I have to offer. Gotcha. So this is my legit, in the open, let you off the hook, but I would still love to be friends with you. You just need to let me know. And they're like, oh, no. Most of the time they'll go, no, I just have so much going on. I just, great. Can I follow up with you in 2 months? That's perfect. I'm just going to put on my calendar in the middle of the month to just follow up with you in whatever 2 months is down the road. Okay. And again, it's all about building that relationship. Sometimes it fizzles and nothing happens, but I'm not putting energy into something I'm not getting back, because at the end of the day, I have a lot of friends. I'm not in the business of building friends. I'm building a business. And so qualifying, are they going to be part of my business organization, either as a customer or as a team member, or are they going to be in my friends? And if they're in my friends, you get me on a limited basis.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I know you do parties, right? Facebook parties, virtual parties now, and in-person parties when we're not in COVID.
Right.
But at what point during this building trust do you actually ask them to attend a party?
I don't, it's not a cookie cutter thing. So, there are some people that are leads I've gotten at lead events, and I'm calling them to book for a party. I don't have enough relationship with them. My relationship's going to have to start with booking a party. But if I'm meeting them at a social event, or I'm in we call it warm chatter. I don't know what you guys call it in your industry, but it's, if I typically carry goodie bags with me that might have a lip gloss or something. And I don't know if you guys have samples or something that you can put in some kind of a goodie bag with your business card, or some kind of promotional sales off kind of thing. And just when you're out and about, just, there are times I'll say, you know what, mostly I give them to people who are giving me good customer service, because let's be clear. We've all experienced where we feel like we are the inconvenient for the person servicing us, right? It's like, let me be clear. When I walk into the store, that keeps you in a job, right? Therefore, you're kind of working for me. Is that? But they missed that boat. So anytime I get even halfway decent customer service, I want to recognize that person for a job well done, because employers don't typically do that. And I just want that person to feel nice. It's where my heart is, right? So something like that. The other thing I thought about is, why can't you guys do parties? Why can't you do a party where you're doing a workout, offer it a free workout, right? It can be either Zoom, or it can be, when we start getting together, do it in a park where everybody's doing workouts, and then have the shakes done in a cooler, and offer everybody a Dixie cup full of the different flavor shakes. Why can't you do that?
We do. We call them fit clubs, and
Well, there you
Tom, he runs one in his hotel.
Awesome. So everybody's on Tom's team, or if anybody that Tom allows in here, you guys should be packing that event every single time. Packing that event every single time. It's an opportunity for you to offer something to somebody for free, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if it's for free, it's for me. I'm that kind of a girl, and I'm not too proud to tell you that. And so, pack those events. If you don't have one of those events local to you, create your own. Create your own. People are looking. They're looking for what you have to offer. So to go back to the original question, that Greg had, what do you do when somebody says, I don't have the money, and that's an excuse. It's an excuse. Don't buy into it. You're doing them a disservice by buying into it, which means you have to be really confident in what you're offering. Yeah. I mean, I have women that have serious aging evidence and they'd rather spend $450 on a single cream than $110 on a set that I offer that has the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, that la 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 la, but they'd rather buy this jar of gold that, by the way, based on their profile card, is not working. I can't help somebody like that, right? You're going to run into somebody who's clearly obese, who's clearly eating at every fast food restaurant 3 or 4 times a day, and they're just not educated. They're just clueless that there's a better life that they could have. Because let's be clear, when we're healthy and we're at our ideal weight, we are living life a whole lot larger. That's what you're offering them. That's what you're offering them. The whole world needs to hear about this. Not just the people on Long Island in that same circle. There are people off the island that need you.
Or spending $50 at the gym, or Orange Theory, where they could buy Beachbody on demand for $39.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And be part of our free, we have our parties are called challenge groups. So we run them virtually on our app, right? And we invite people for free, and they get support and motivation and encouragement by all of our coaches for free, right? So they have no excuses. And we even give away workouts for free. free. Beachbody has about 14 to 20 workouts they offer for free.
Yeah, the biggest thing when we're in multi-level marketing or direct sales is people don't really, when they tell you no, it's one of a couple of reasons. They don't know what you're really talking about. So you've not given them enough information. It's not the right time. It literally is not the right time for them, or they genuinely are just not interested. But the third one is the lower percentage. It's usually the first one. They really don't understand what you're talking, because you have an amazing product to offer and service to offer, much more than the gyms offer. Let's be clear, especially now with COVID, and you have to wear a mask while you're in the gym working out. Like, how unhealthy is that? I don't even know why that's even allowed, but don't get me going down there. And with the gyms, here's the deal. With the gyms, you have to buy a membership. You have to lock in, unless it's, what is the one? Planet Fitness is like, what, $10 a month? But, you know, you got to wear a mask when you work out there. My husband's like, I'm not doing that anymore.
They're not even open here yet.
He's the one. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Tom?
Gyms aren't even open in New York yet. They're not allowed to open still.
Well, there you go. So here's what you guys offer. It doesn't make any difference what's happening in the world. You can still put your health as a priority. That's priceless. That's priceless. What are the questions? Do you guys know where to go find new people?
Working on it.
Janet, yeah, working on it.
Well,
That's
currently
weird.
right now, I have like 4 ladies that work with me. Technically, they're pretty obese, but the other thing is that they're younger than me, and I'm trying to help them out so many ways. And you know, like the usual thing, what they don't have enough money, or what they don't have time, they have family issues. And I'm saying to myself, I said, this is all excuses, like you mentioned. But what I was gonna say, when you had said about a question, is that I have my IG story in private for personal reasons. But I have a lot of people that actually follow me, and some of them look like they're interested, but they're afraid of reaching out. And I want to know how to kind of like soften up the mood of me just showing myself doing exercise, showing the products and all that. Because before, like I had mentioned to Tom, and Tom could tell you, I'm very much an introvert. So for me to share how I do my workouts, so for me to share anything, it was hard for me. And lately I've been able to kind of like show that, you know, and I just want to know what else can I do. I mean, it's, I guess it's just timing maybe.
Couple things. As an introvert, I coach a lot of women who are introverts. I am not an introvert, obviously. And with an introvert, it's lead with your heart. You probably have an easier time leading with your heart than an extrovert does, right? When you lead with your heart, you're touching their heart. That's where the connection is, okay? People will do business that they know and trust, okay? So sharing, in Mary Kay, that we call it our I story. I don't know, I'm sure you guys have the same thing. You may or may not call it something different, but you're sharing where you were before, what made you join, the benefits that you've had since. Okay. So where I was before, I used to have panic attacks. I lived with panic attacks for 20 years. Literally drive a half a mile to the grocery store was not happening in my world without me having a major panic attack. Janet's like, what? I know. Shocker. I know. And so the reason I joined Mary Kay was because of the self-confidence and the self-esteem. It was not because of the products. Total tomboy, didn't like women, thought they were catty, thought makeup was stupid. Legit. Okay. Barefoot, jeans, t-shirt, baseball hat with a hair and a ponytail. Before I started using Mary Kay products, my skincare routine was whatever shampoo ran down my face. And so people look at me now and they're like, it's like, girl, this business will change your life. This business will change your life. You guys offer the same thing, right? It's a different vehicle, okay? And in 6 months, I promoted myself to the top 2% of a global multi-billion-dollar company. So was that ability inside of me all the time? Yes, it was. Just needed somebody to believe in me and to give me the vehicle to do that. That's where a coach comes in. A coach comes in where you see something in that person and you help them discover it. You can't put it in there. It's either there or it's not. Your job is to look for it, identify it, and then help him or her discover it. So I have a cousin, lives in New Jersey, and Dawn was always overweight. And it affected her self-confidence. It affected her self-esteem. And I don't really know what happened, but all of a sudden she decided she was going to get this gastric bypass, whatever thing happening. And she lost a ton of weight. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, listen, you people offer them a whole lot safer, more healthier alternative than all that invasiveness, which they're now discovering is not an amazing long-term plan to begin with. So when you see somebody, Brendan's going, I know, somebody cut me up. No, not happening, right? So when you are talking with people, you're asking questions to find out what their why is. Just like I asked you guys, what was your why? Why did you do this? That's what you're looking for in them. So these women that you're coaching that are clearly overweight and younger than you, start asking them their why. What are they not doing in life? Are they single? Are those women
there's like about 2 or 3 of them that are not single. But it's so funny because in the area that we are at, they buy their Starbucks, they buy their Pizza Hut. And I'm looking at them, and then I said to
But they
myself,
can't afford Beachbody.
Huh?
But they can't afford Beachbody.
Exactly. And I told them, I said, you complain so much, why have me not help you? And you want to do this, you want to do that, and it's just it's like
well, here's what I would do, Janet, if you're open. Are you open?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if I'm sitting down talking to Susie Hugh, and I would do it one-on-one, I would not do it in a group. You motivate and move people working with them one-on-one.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you're sitting down with Susie Q. Susie Q, can you tell me, like, you're kind of, we're playing cat and mouse with this Beachbody thing. If you could have anything you want out of this Beachbody opportunity, what would that be? And let's say she says, I'd really like to lose this weight. You write that down. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you want to lose that weight? If she's not an 8, 9, or a 10, she's not serious about it.
Exactly.
Okay. But if she's an 8, 9, or a 10, and then you ask her again, why do you want to lose the weight? And let's just say she's, well, I just don't feel good about myself. And in what way does that not make you feel better about yourself? And just let her talk. And then you keep asking questions that drill down until you hear my heart on this, people.
Yeah.
Until you have her in tears. Because when you have her in tears, you have reached the real why. And that is what is going to motivate her to let go of all her excuses, because the excuses is a protection barrier. I can't afford it. Yeah. Because when you dig down why, she may not think that she's capable of doing it.
True.
So when you keep asking those probing questions and ask her, can we go deeper? But you keep asking until you get to a why. I have a consultant in my unit. Oh my gosh, it was like breaking into Fort Knox to try to get that woman to tears. And I kept, okay, can we explore that? Sure. Like, no problem. Right. And I'd say, okay, well, tell me why that's important to you. Well, I just blah, 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 blah. She's happy as can be. I'm like, it probably took about 2 hours of just a conversation, you know, whatever. But her eyes finally started tearing up. And it was something as simple as she wanted to take the financial responsibility of the household, their financial picture. She wanted to take some of that pressure off of her husband.
Oh.
And I said, when she started tearing up, and I said, tell me more about that. Why is it so important that you take that responsibility off of Carlos's shoulders? And then then we had to get the tissues out. And so now when I coach her and she's kind of doing, you know, going off course, I'll say, hey, how are you doing with paying that car payment? And then she'll tear up and I'll go, okay, let's get focused, girl. We can do this. Well, I've worked with this woman to the point where she's paid off his college loans with her Mary Kay business. Both college loans were paid off. That took off hundreds of dollars of responsibility off his shoulders. And now she's focused on paying off his car because hers is already paid off. So when you can bore down and find out what is their why to the point where they're in tears, now you can start moving forward. But until then, they're going to put one barrier in front of another barrier in front of another barrier, and it's frustrating. When you're coaching somebody like that, it's frustrating. The job of a coach is this sounds so bad, but a job of a coach is to get them in tears so that they get into motion.
True.
Now, guys, don't be making women cry. You got to do this tactfully. Woman to woman is one thing. Guys probably are not going to cry. Guys are going to get angry. Okay. And they're going to start squirming like you're going to see them physically squirming. That's what you're looking for. But women will cry. But guys, be gentle with the women who cry. Like seriously, let your I don't know if you're familiar with the DISC personality, but let your S personality out, which is very sensitive, very security minded, you know, be appropriate with the hugs and the touches and all that, because today women are just weird and crazy, but be sensitive to that. But I'm telling you, when you find out what their why is, it becomes a joy to coach them then, because now they're wanting to be coached. You can't, what does AA say? You can't help those who don't want to help themselves. They've accepted the fact that they're obese. I tell you what, I am like 30 pounds overweight and I am working on it. And Shakeology is one of the things I use. And my adult daughter finally had to sit down with me and say, listen, I want you as long as I can have you. I need you to take care of your body and lose this weight and get healthy again. I'm like, that had me in tears. Okay, fine, no problem. And when this 5-year-old little grandson walks in the door, I want to be around when he has babies. I want to hold his baby. I want to dance, be that crazy woman out on the dance floor, that crazy grandmother out on the dance floor at his wedding. And I'm not going to do that if I stay 30 pounds overweight. So find out what their why is. Do they have kids? I pampered this woman one time, and this is probably 10 years ago. I pampered her, and I'll never forget this. She was obese. I should have known you guys then, because I definitely would have recommended you to her. And she said her mother died in her 40s because she was obese. She said, so I guess, you know, that's what I'm going to do too. I'm like, what? No, that is not the right answer. But that she just resigned herself that that's just what was going to happen. I'm like, no, my grandmother died at the age of 55. She was the size of Aunt Jemima and ate like Aunt Jemima too. I mean, it was Southern cooking, gravy on everything. She was a great cook, but she died at the age of 55. I'm like, this is not happening. I refuse. But she was a huge woman. Lifestyle. You guys have an amazing opportunity to offer people, both with the product and with the workouts and with the opportunity. Man, everybody needs to know about what you have. Yeah. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to share is, and then we'll wrap up, is when you're looking for new people, they're everywhere. And so one of the things I trained about at our networking is to create your avatar. Who is your perfect avatar? Literally write down a list of who your perfect avatar is. And you can do this with anything. Laugh if you will, but I did this before I met my husband. I wrote a list. Okay, Lord, these are the characteristics I would like in a man. I'm not interested in getting married right now, but if you're wanting my input, this is my input, right? And within 2 weeks, I met Dave, and that's a hilarious story, but we don't have enough time for that. But I'm telling you, that man has more. God took my list and went, that's interesting, and just gave me this most amazing man that has more than I ever could have dreamed of in a man. He is my soulmate and my best friend. But I created, and I didn't even know what an avatar was back then, but that's what I created. And so that's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. And it's pretty simple. What characteristics do they have? How much education do they have? What's their income? What is their concerns in life? Like, the more specific you can get about who that perfect client is, you are going to be amazed at how all of a sudden they just show up in your life. It's how the law of attraction works. Okay. So you can go out and get, that's an aggressive stance, or you can attract. That's a much more positive and powerful stance to build your business. Did this help at all?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't know about this woman. My husband doesn't either, but he hangs around for the
I was just thinking about that list.
No, it's all awesome so far. Like, soaking it up. It's real good.
Good. Yeah, I mean,
Good
I can
pointers.
I can teach about the avatar, Greg, if you want me to do that. But you guys have a great business. You have a great thing. Just lead with your heart. And everybody needs what you have, because even if they're totally healthy, the shakes are amazing. And I remember when I was in my 20s, I worked for the Forest Service, for the Department of Agriculture, and my boss would drink these shakes, and he would put alfalfa sprouts and all this. I'm thinking, oh, buddy, you are weird. You are just so weird. And here I am, like, totally dependent on, like, I love the shakes. And I thought, oh my gosh, here I am. I'm putting my spinach and my frozen banana and my Shakeology, and it's awesome.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Kathy. We can wrap up. Does anybody have any final questions for Kathy or anybody else? No?
So I do have a challenge for you guys.
Okay.
Pick a category, an industry, IT, housewife, just pick one, whatever floats your boat and trips your trigger, and talk to 5 people this week, this starting, by next Saturday, in that industry. Just introduce yourself and just say, I went to a training, I've been challenged to talk to 5 people in whatever industry you choose about what I do. Would you be one of those 5? This scares the bejeebies out of me, especially those that are introverts. Just let them know. I need for you to know my heart's about ready to pound out of my chest. So if you're going to say no, can you quickly say no so I can walk away with my head down and my tail between my legs? If you don't say no, then can I just give you a virtual hug and go, oh, thank you, because the first one's out of the way. Just lay it all out there. Like, people are people, because here's the deal. They're more afraid of you rejecting them than you are of whatever that is. But anyhow, just 5 people, and just have fun with it and see where it goes. The first one's always the hardest, so get that over with today. And then let your coaches know how you did with it.
We had a Kathy, I don't know if it was at your meeting or at a different one, but we had a local networking meeting where they showed a TED Talk about the guy who went for rejections. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, and it must have been a different meeting, but he wrote a book, and anyway, he did a TED Talk on it, and he's like, yeah, I wanted to go for like 100 no's or whatever, right? So he went up to like a doorman, and he asked him for $100 bill, yeah, and the doorman's like, no. And he's like, oh, okay, all right. So he was saying that he was getting himself used to people saying no, right? So then when he asked them, hey, or when we asked, hey, would you be interested in doing a free workout? If they say no, that's nothing, right? It's right. I've already been turned down 100 times for something else, right?
Yep. No, here's the deal. No is not a negative, it's a neutral.
Yeah.
Right? You're not gaining anything. A yes would gain you something. When somebody tells you no, you've not moved. You didn't go backwards. You didn't have it to begin with. No was a neutral.
Yeah.
That we have a challenge in our and you can apply it to everybody. So we do use it in Mary Kay. It's called 100 no challenge. You have a month to get 100 no's. And what happens is it takes them about 3 or 4 months to actually get 100 no's because people are telling them yes. Then they get to the point where they're like, I got another yes. It's kind of funny, but the whole challenge is by them trying to get 100 no's, they end up getting a lot of yeses, and they're like, this is hard to get 100 no's. I'm like, I know. You guys think that it's all you're getting is no's, but what you're realizing is you are getting yeses. You're just not realizing that because you're focusing on the negative. But no is not a negative. It's a neutral. It's a neutral.
Yeah, the guy who did the TED Talk, he goes, I thought I had a really good one. I went into Krispy Kreme and I asked them to make the donuts like the Olympic rings, right? Hooked together. He's like, I need a dozen hooked together. And they're like, oh, okay. I've never heard that before, but I'll do it. They did it for him. So,
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, yes. Darn, yeah. So.
When you start having fun building your business, the energy changes. People don't want to be around struggle. They want to be around joy and fun and energy and stuff like that. And so when you start having fun with this is why these challenges, these ridiculous, like go for 100 no's or just ask 5 people in an industry and just lay it out there. I mean, I've been in my business 18 years and I'm in the top of my company, but I still challenge myself and I blame it on my national. I'll text her, hey, you've challenged me this week to do this. She goes, great, fabulous. Let me know how you did. Right. And I'll just talk to people and say, hey, my national's chosen me to work with me for my next promotion, right? Which is true. And my first challenge is to hand out 10 goodie bags every day this week. Would you be willing to accept one of my goodie bags? Who's gonna tell me no? Right? And the goodie bag, oh, by the way, comes with a complimentary pampering. Right? So simple. Have fun with this. Be creative. As crazy as you can be. And this is where the introverts get a little whatever, but it's kind of fun stepping outside that comfort zone a little bit. Take an adventure.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we can buy packets of Shakeology and one of the things we've done before is like 3-day Shakeology parties, right? Online, right? Groups where, if you sign up, I'll send you 3 packets of Shakeology and you get them into a group, you give them a healthy meal plan, you give them some free workouts, and you give them a shake recipe every day. Well, I mean, who wouldn't sign up for that, right? I mean, that's.
And then the follow-up comes into that. What have you noticed in the workouts when you've been working out? Are you making it through the workouts? Are you finding that every day it gets a little bit easier? How was that 3rd day on the workout? Were you able to get out of bed? And send them a get well card to their muscles. But here's the deal. You guys are laughing, which changes the chemistry in your brain. And now you're more positive. And who sends people a get well card to their muscles?
Or have a nice trip to your fat.
Where's Brendan? Did he leave? There he is. School of Rock. So Brendan, you want to know how you set yourself apart? You can bet she's not going to come up with that idea.
Right.
I'll give that one a shot.
Right? Follow up with them on how they're doing, because getting into the routine. I mean, I am walking 2 miles every day. I was working with a personal trainer, and there's something happening with my back. We don't know what it is. And he said, I need you moving every morning. Get out of bed, get your sneakers on, get out the door. It's like, whatever. And so I'm on day 15 of the 2nd round of 21 days, right? And it gave me a bunch of stretching routines to do, which I'm able to move now and not look like a 100-year-old lady. But he follows up with every day. I have to text him and let him know what I'm doing. Am I going to stay with this personal trainer? Yeah, I am. Because even when I'm not doing what, the strength training that I hired him to do, he's still sticking with me, right? It's that relationship that he's built with me that he has my loyalty. Okay, and that's what you want to get with them. So send them those notes. Send them those text messages with fun emojis, right?
Kathy, I was going to say we have a shake called a recovery shake too, so we could send them little packets of the recovery.
Oh my goodness, yes. Sometimes I feel like I need to live on that.
Great idea.
Right. All right.
Thank you guys so much. This has been awesome. I hope you guys got some good nuggets out of this.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kathy. And,
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
we'll see everybody else next week. All right.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.